There is a time, there is a place when you fall out of line and it all goes to waste. You won't see me there. Scatter the ashes when I'm gone and remember the titan that fights to the death. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. We had some double-digit green last night. I was going to make a video, but I didn't want to, so I didn't. But there was a lot of double-digit green. I can already see that it's kind of settling out right now. But there was definitely ICO coin was popping off. Descent was popping off. What was popping off? Yeah, okay. So Descent was all the way up at 35%. ICO coin kind of chilled the fuck back down, but there was definitely more. The stream's definitely taking a hit. There was definitely a lot of double green last night, a lot of opportunities. Like one of the reasons that that this this YouTube channel is beneficial, aside from the fact that I can go back and look at all my "Told You So" videos, it's very beneficial because people come to me with suggestions, and there's a lot of smart people out there, and I get some nice suggestions, and that's good because it's like people already know what I invest in, what I put out there, so it's cool because a lot of people, you know, I've grown relationships with a lot of my subscribers, cool people. They joined a No Limit Slack. We talk trade. It's good stuff. And somebody told me about this. Homie told me about this one. And I was looking into it, and I was like, man. And after digging around and I was doing some research, I realized that the ICO had just ended, and the ICO price was, it said it was listed as $10 on this site. Let's go. Let's see. No, they don't. Did they say it here? It was 10. There we go. See, price per token locked. One token equals $10. There's 20 million. All the ones would be sold. What this is kind of like Ripple or Stellar Lumens, kind of, but for European banks. So it makes sending from one bank to another a lot easier. And it raised a good bit of money. So I was looking at it and I was like, what the hell? It's like, it's cheaper than what it went for the ICO. So I set some lures. And let's see, I was able to hit some last night. As you can see, when I had first gotten in, I saw the price and I was like, holy shit, that's cheaper than the ICO. So I went ahead and bought some right when I saw it. And then I set my lures, and you can see I hit some all the way down. And then really, this isn't like a long-term hit for me. Not saying it's a bad company or anything. I just had not done enough research to comfortably try to nest egg this. So I was just looking for a quick flip. I was thinking, I went into the Slack. It seemed like there was like some kind of hack issue with some accounts. People are freaking out, something going on. So I think that was what was causing the price to just have people panic sell. So I just went for a quick flip, you know, buy at 21, sell at 3, and all in between. Just because it was like, man, this thing is fucking cheaper than the ICO, so I think I'm going to be able to at least find some turbulence. Because there's going to be, you got to think, I don't know much about this coin, right? I don't know much. I know enough. I know more than the average Joe. I did a little bit of research. I did some light work. But I'm not going to front and act like I, you know, talk to the owners on Skype and all that shit. I haven't done any heavy lifting on this coin, but what it did was I was thinking, well, there's going to be people like me. There's going to be people like me who look at the coin and then they're going to say, well, holy shit, this thing was going for X price in the ICO and now it's going for less. Because you got to keep in mind, this is $6, right? But this is at this price. I was getting at 24 and all the way down to 21. I got it for cheaper on Livecoin. I actually got it for a little over 2 flat on Livecoin. That's what I do. I saw the coin, I saw the market was on, and I was like, YoBit, bet, Livecoin, bet, and hit BTC, bet. And I didn't hit anything on hit BTC, but I hit some on Livecoin, and I hit some on YoBit. YoBit, it was going for the cheapest by far. So So I just messed around. But yeah, I was thinking what was going to happen was people were going to be like, man, it's cheaper than the ICO, and then they're going to go and buy it. So I made sure to buy it and then set my lures for the ICO price a little bit under the ICO price. Because worst case scenario, without doing as much research as I should have, I am at least going to make profit, in my opinion, because there's always going to be somebody who's willing to pay cheaper than what it was in the ICO. That was my rationale, right? And someone did, right? Right up until the cheapest price, someone did. Someone bought half a Bitcoin worth at that price. So that worked out well. It was a nice little bink. It wasn't much, but it also got me, forced me to get a little bit more familiar with the coin. I'm not sure if it's going to be a long, I'm probably not going to invest in it. I do like the fact that there was a lot of coins burnt. And I don't mind the fact that there might be more of like an inner channel instead of like a wide channel when you're talking about blockchains and banks. Maybe you might want it to be like you have your USA version, your European version, yada, yada, yada. I'm not sure if that'll make it work better than like having like a worldwide one. But then again, you got to think maybe you use the European one when you're in Europe. But if you need to send money across, into another country, another continent, then you can use something else like Stellar Lumens or Ripple. But basically what I was getting at was that was just something that happened last night. Let's go back to the coin market cap. Because there's, I'm picturing a lot of turbulence, like I've been saying for this month. So anytime I can nab a quick little buck, it doesn't matter. And money's money. If you're making money, that's good. I'm always aiming to make more Bitcoin, because I think Bitcoin is going to be worth, 6 figures one day. I think it could reach $1 million one day. I honestly could. If it goes the leap and becomes the main currency, which it can. There's definitely enough support for it. So I'm getting into something like Funfair. It's not at all like Funfair, but the setup is kind of like Funfair, and I'll touch on that in a little bit. But basically, I have just been going to the exchanges and setting deep lures and just doing my thing. The market is just going to be kind of crazy. There's always opportunities. A real popular thing I've been seeing is people have been talking a lot about CHC, the chain coin. They're talking about their holders group. They're like, man, D, you should join, man. You got the strong hand. You need to join the holders group. We got a bunch of people buying this coin, and we're gonna all hold. We're all gonna guarantee to hold until it gets $100. And I was like, well, bet. I was like, how much is the damn coin? He was like, bro, it's only like 30 cents right now. And he's like, and it just boomed real big. I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. I was like, so what's it about? He's like, oh man, I really don't know too much about it. I just know that we're going, all the whales are holding, so the price is going to skyrocket. And I was like, whoa. I was like, you had me there for a second. I was like, all right, this sounds pretty cool. Like, I'm interested. Like, what's the project? But see, there's a difference with me. I'm not like that. I'm not. First of all, I don't care what people, if they hold or not, to be honest with you, because the only way you'd be afraid of somebody dumping is if you didn't believe in the coin. Because if you don't believe in the coin, then the coin can't handle dumps. But if the coin can handle dumps, and I mean, look at No Limit Coin, for example. There were people who got millions of coin at 21, 25, 30 Satoshi. Millions. And they dumped the coin at 100. They dumped the coin at 200 and dumped the coin at 500. We made the meme. The people who, the people who dumped at 500 Satoshi are crying right now. And they just kept and then they ran out of coin eventually because, they didn't have enough. They just had, even if you have millions, you eventually run out. And that was just me and all the other people buying them up. And I'm holding, yeah, that helps the coin go up in price, supply versus demand, but I'm holding because I believe in the long term. I'm not holding to get the price to rise. I don't give a fuck. I want the price to lower. I want the price to be low because I want to buy more. So I'm not down with the whole let's just pick a random coin. I'm not saying chain coin's bad. I looked at the website, looked it up. It didn't fancy me, but I haven't done enough research to, I'm looking at it, from first impression. That's probably not a thing for me. It sounds kind of like another Bitcoin clone, maybe with some anonymous features. I haven't really looked that much into it, so I'm not going to really comment on whether it's a great investment or not. I was just thrown off that there's people who are creating these type of hold groups, and they're just getting in for the factor that people are holding, and they're not actually looking at the coin. I think that's a big fucking mistake, because first of all, I don't want my fate in another dude's hands, another person's hands. I don't want anyone to have fucking control over me. I don't want to be like, oh, please don't dump, because then the coin will be worthless, right? I don't want to have to be in a position where I have to trust somebody like that. Fuck that. Secondly, I'm only going to get on the coins where I wish people would dump. I wish a motherfucker would dump. I wish somebody would dump all they no limit fucking coins. It'd be the stupidest goddamn thing they ever done. I'd be right there to capture all of them. So there's just a different mind state, I guess. I just think it's kind of popular, and I see the weasel, like I see the method, like I see the hustlers, I see people trying to do it. They're trying to hustle. They're trying to be like, well, we could put something together. They're trying to do it. And hey, God bless them. God bless the hustlers trying to make moves. However, there's different ways to hustle. I think that's a kind of an ignorant way to hustle. That's just me. I just saw Bitcoin's fucking 24-hour volume was 560. This has got to be a motherfucking glitch. That can't be. That's not real. There's no way. There is no way, guys. That's just fake. It's a fake number. Let me sip my coffee real quick. That's a fake number, guys. All right, let's see. Holy shit, guys. Ooh, wow. How did I not notice that? How did I not notice that? Got up, went for my walk, got my coffee. Bitcoin's at 500. Huh. So I've got a lot of work to do. I basically got to go cancel a bunch of lures on all my sites, because I'm going to wrap this video up though, but this is not a good sign at all. I'm definitely picking up all of my lures, and I'm going to be setting them at least 30 to 40% lower than they were now, because this could really turn ugly. This is obviously because of what's about to happen. People are just, getting worried, and it obviously is. I mean, that's the thing. This thing's so unpredictable. We have no idea what can happen next. So when people get spooked, how many people are going to get spooked? That's the problem. I don't understand how the price is still this high. There's just no one. The price is this high because there's just no one willing to sell it for cheaper. But when that happens, that's when it's going to crash. But this is not good at all. This is not good. This is not good. Litecoin's been doing their own. So I feel sorry for the people who invest in EOS on the second window. Got that bitch for like $5. Ouch. You never want to get into an ICO and then the price get cut in half a few days later. And now they're stuck in a year-long ICO now. Their money's locked for a year, because this price isn't going to go over $5 until the ICO is done, in my opinion. I mean, why would it? It's just going to be more and more hitting the market. It's just going to get cheaper and cheaper, so those people aren't going to be able to sell their fucking EOS for a year. Imagine that. Can you fucking imagine that? You invest in an ICO, EOS, you wait forever. It's like Christmas. You should have seen the telegram. There were so many people happy about EOS. And it finally comes. You're like, oh man. And then you get in on the second window and you pay $5. And now you have to wait an entire year before even then, God knows how long you have to wait to get your money back. Imagine how much money people, I was telling people, I ain't fucking with EOS. I should have fucked with EOS on the first round because the USA couldn't invest, and I knew people were gonna have the USA people were gonna buy it right off the get, and that's what happened. I missed that, but that's fine. But other than that, I know not to invest in the EOS ever again, after that, because then the USA people had their fill, and the prices are only gonna go down after that. But so we had a boom last night, and now everyone decided to take their Bitcoin and maybe. All right, so what's happening? What am I telling you? I told you. I mean, it's all making perfect sense right now. If you go back to my videos, I've been saying it. People are taking their Bitcoin out and they're investing in either altcoins. That's why the altcoin had like a mini boom last night, kinda. You know, some coins were in the green. See, a coin had a little run. There were certain little runs. And now it's from people taking it out of there. And then the others going into, I wouldn't be surprised if like Tether is going to be getting blown up even bigger as we get close to August 1st. But people might just say fuck everything and get just fiat. So definitely look at numbers right here. What else was I going to say? Wasn't... Travel coin. Okay, so here's another ICO I'm invested in. You got plenty of time. 40 days. I just wanted to put it out there because right now I'm just kind of having ICO fever, and this is the ICO that I'm talking about that was similar to Funfair. Now, obviously, Funfair is a gambling thing. It's like, for gambling, it has nothing to do with travel. But what happened was, all right, let's see, 1 month. USA prices. Okay, so it was in June. So it was like right here. I didn't invest because there was too many of them. But what happened was some poor asshole misclicked right here. But aside from that was, okay, so there was a 50%. I'm not sure. No, I think there was a 25% bonus. A 50% bonus, 25. There was a bonus on the Funfair. And I believe it was like 1 cent or 1.5 cents for each token. So I was wondering, I was looking after, I think it was 1 cent per token, but either way, you got the bonus. And right after the ICO, it went up to like 3. And I'm thinking, man, with the bonus plus that, and there were people who literally got in on the last minute of the ICO, got their coins, and like almost immediately were able to sell them on exchanges for that kind of a price. And that was kind of the same thing with CryptoPing, right? Like I mean, CryptoPing was up to almost 2x, 100% right after. And that's what happens. Once they hit exchanges, the prices are usually by standard a lot higher than them being a lot lower. So what happens with most ICOs is, like with CryptoPing, I invested and I was able to sell at an 60%, 80% margin and a 60% margin, making my money back. And now I have a free nest egg. And I kind of see the same thing happen with TravelCoin. As I'm looking at the trend of these ICOs, these midline ICOs, they're not quite home runs. They're kind of just base hits, but they're nice for getting a good supply. And the thing about this is there's no rush to enter this. I'm just being real. There's no rush because the thing is, I don't think that this ICO is going to be absolutely massive, but the one thing is there's unlimited coins, which means as long as this ICO goes, however many people, the more coins there are going to be. And what I'm betting on is keeping an eye on this and seeing how many people register, how many people buy it and all that. And if it ends up being lower, I'm definitely going to flick some money into it because I think it's just going to be kind of a Funfair example where I'm going to be able to get a bonus. Plus, I'm going to be able to probably sell it for 50% to 100% gain once it hits the exchanges. Even if it's just a 25% gain, once you add the bonus. So the cool thing is I've got in contact with the people. And basically, if you use the code Hensley, which is my last name, you'll get a 20% discount. And what that does is for every time somebody buys some, I get flicked some travel coin. And that's cool because I just wanted to, I'm not even a salesman. That's not what the fuck I do. I'm just doing me. And I was going to invest in this ICO anyway, but I made it to where I'm able to get a 20% bonus, a 20% discount, because if you notice, it was only for the first day. The ICO, the 20% bonus was only for the first day. So I talked to them and I was able to get 20% bonus throughout. So that's cool. And it allows me to employ my strategy where I can wait around, lurk around, and not miss out on that bonus. So, and another reason is I get paid in travel coin because it just proves that, hey, I'm not fucking, if I'm buying it and I'm getting kicked travel coin, then that means that I believe it's going to be worth money. Because if I didn't think it was going to be worth money, then I wouldn't fucking be paid in travel coin. I'd be like, well, no, I want to get paid in fucking whatever they pay. And I want to get paid in Bitcoin. So basically, and the reason I like it is just because I think that if I've went to fucking Expedia and all that, what happens is you get like a million windows. Like when I'm trying to travel, I'm trying to find the best price. I'm getting like 5, 10 different fucking websites popping up, crashing my computer, all kinds of crazy shit happening. And I still don't even know if I'm getting the best price because there's so many different, I'm not trying to look through all these sites. And what this is going to do is just going to clean everything up. It's going to make it fucking just everything super clean. And that's what I like. And I think that it doesn't take much to have utility. If they can clean it up, people are obviously going to go to this site as opposed to Expedia. I don't give a fuck about Trivago or any of these. Expedia, I always go to Expedia. I'm not going to lie. That's the one that I know the most. But like I said, it's some bullshit. And basically, this is just going to run shit because it's going to be so much cleaner. Because the blockchain, that's what it does. It takes information and it relays it quicker and more efficient. Right? This is just all kinds of pop-ups everywhere. It's not fucking, there's no kind of, and what's going to happen, I just think all of these companies are just going to pour into this idea and adopt this idea, in my opinion. So, and I was looking for something to clean up. There's a couple other ICOs I'm going to invest in that I like that, are kind of niche like this, but I was looking for this is like find hotels, car rent, cruises, all of these things. It's not just for travel, so it's going to clean up a whole industry. It's going to make it much better. I just think that these are the ICOs to look at, and I like the fact that we have some time to look around at it. I just don't think it's going to be a huge ICO. That's the whole thing. Like, I think that it could be, and then I might not get into it if it's too big. I'm just being real, Like I said, I'm not a motherfucking salesman. I don't give a motherfuck. I'm being real. I'm just saying I'm going to invest in this if the numbers are right. And I think the numbers are going to be fucking right. I really do. I think the numbers are going to be spot on because there's not that many people talking about it. Yeah, I'm talking about it, but I just wanted people to get familiar with it and basically, I'm not, it's not a big deal to me. I'm not trying to say, oh, well, if I'm just hush, then not that many people will get in on it. And then it'll be a smaller ICO and then I'll make more money. It's like, yeah, I could do that, but I'm not like that. I don't need to do that to make money. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of people doing that. That's not me. I don't need to do that. I want to prove to people you can become a billionaire without having to fucking be a snake and slimy and hold everything and be secretive. It's not how I'm doing. I'm giving, fair share. That's all. And if there's if there's an investment in the future that I'm not talking about, that's because there's good reason I'm not talking about it. Because that means I'm not fully sold on it. And I already know there's people out there who will take Tarzan swings thinking, well, if he's even looking at it, I'm going to take a gamble on it. And that's not good because I know how fucking people are. They might be like, oh, well, you mentioned it and I invested in it and it ended up being dumb. And it might be something that I didn't even invest in. And I don't give a fuck if people do that. I'm just looking out for you. I'm just trying to protect you from yourselves. That's all. Because there's no reason I'm going to talk about something that I haven't even invested in. It takes time. Like when I figure out that I want to pull the trigger and I like it, then I do it. But until that moment, I don't talk about it because I don't talk about it. I'm not thinking about it in my head. I'm doing the research. I'm not sitting here trying to talk about it, especially if I don't know a lot about it. And you know, once I've been able to talk to the higher ups, people in charge, get all my answers answered, or all my questions answered, then it's fucking, I feel a lot more better. You know, I feel better. The ICOs are always a risk, but I at least do as much as I possibly can. All right, let's check Bitcoin again. Oh, guys. Yeah. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long month. I would say don't unload the clip. Always save a little around. Hold your good investments. Don't sell them for a loss. And just know once August 1st comes back, everything, every single coin that's worth a damn is going to get a big boost. And right now, the truest of colors are being shown by your coins. So if your coin's doing good, then it's a champion. It's a true champion. Because right now, you know, the bellies are popped out. The makeup's not on. The hair's not done. You know, this is your coin right out of bed. This is your coin right before it brushes its teeth. You're getting to see your coin at its basic level, at its purest level. And if your coin is shining right now, or your coin's holding its own, it's fighting back, it's doing whatever it's got to do, then that's a really good sign that you're in a keeper. But if you're in a coin that's, you know, just falling off the earth, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because basic attention token fell off the earth, but I'm just saying my investments, I noticed that, yeah, there's been some dumps. You know, basic attention token had probably the worst dumps I've ever seen for a coin. Probably ever. I don't think I've ever seen someone dump, because I think I was getting basic attention token for like 8 cents or something at one point. You're not going to see it on here because what happened was the candlestick recorrected so fast that CoinMarketCap didn't happen. So CoinMarketCap doesn't catch all the dumps if it recorrects in time. The only time it doesn't catch it is when it doesn't recorrect in time. So there were some mad dumps with basic attention token. I was getting it for like 8 cents and maybe even a little under at some points. As you can see, like right now, it's just so cheap. And it's going to go under. It's definitely going to, it can experience, you know, I could see 6-7 cents dips with basic attention token. And I know that might be disconcerting for people who've been buying it at 10 and 11 cents because they're like, oh my God, it's, you know, at its new lows. I've been doing that, but that's fine because I believe in basic attention token going into the future 100%, right? So when it keeps getting cheaper, I just keep buying. Now, I'm not spending my last dollar on basic attention token. I'm spread out and I always keep liquid. You always got to keep liquid with you. That's why I preach you keep liquid, because then when it dips more, you're able to capture on it. But you always want to keep a little liquid. You always want to find a way to keep a little liquid. And that's why I do things like flip these real quick, because you never know what's going to happen with these dips, and you just got to be prepared. And you know, I have my long-term holds that I'm not selling for shit. Like no limit coin, I'm not really selling for shit. You really can't get me to sell no limit coin because I already know, I mean, the coin has just been exploding throughout this depression that we're in. And it looks beautiful right out of bed. And people don't understand how badass it's going to be to finally have fantasy soccer in China, to have fantasy cricket. It's just going to be absolutely amazing. Just it has a very low count, so I'm not selling that because soccer hasn't even launched. This is like, I don't even know. I can't even. It's like investing into Steam, although I know they're completely different platforms, before the beta version was released. If you imagine how cheap those prices were. And then once the beta version was released, people were like, oh, there's a working thing right here, and it works fine, and it works good. That's what's going to happen with soccer. People are like, oh my God, people are signing up, and who would have thought people liked soccer? Look at all these people that like soccer. Where did they come from? You know, it's like soccer is one of the most popular sports in the entire planet. It's everywhere. And now all these fans are going to get a way to interact with the sport in a way they never been able to before. And I have a lot of friends on that side, and I've talked to them all, and they're all super excited. They all are kind of jealous that it's all in the United States, the fantasy duels and the 1 week duels, because they're good at numbers, and there's people who've become millionaires, not by chance, but because they're really good at fantasy sports. They're really good at picking the lineups. They're really good at doing the research on the players. They actually made a career out of it. So could you imagine in these poorer countries where people can actually make careers out of this, picking good soccer players and beating all the others? You know, these people are dirt poor. You're talking about winning $1,000 in one tournament is life-changing for them. You don't think that they're going to fucking go all out on that? Especially man, like, you know, you're a young man, 20, 21, 22 years old. You definitely, hey, all kinds of people are going to be doing it, but, you know, I can only imagine the hustler. You know, he's got like a day job, just hustling, trying to pay bills, and on the side, he's able to, you know, pick his favorite fucking soccer players because he knows them like the back of their hands. Like, I know the Dallas Cowboys like the back of my hand. I'm fucking down to accept anybody's challenge when it comes to fantasy duels, because I know NFL like the back of my hand, but I really, really know the Cowboys like the back of my hand. So I'm able to have those players that people might not know about, and I can get them for super cheap, because that's what fantasy sports is. If the player's not really known or if he's underrated, you're going to be able to get him cheaper, and you have to put together a team for a certain amount of money. So, like, let's say you have, just a rough example, you have $1 million. Well, a really good player might cost $500,000. So you might spend half of your amount on one player, and then the rest of your team sucks because you couldn't pick anybody. But if you can find those behind the scene guys that you get for like $50K, and you get one for like $75K, that's like an explosive player that's gonna, you know, people think they're underrated, or you see like a matchup where it's like, well, this guy's 6'6", my wide receiver 6'6", and their cornerback's 5'10". And my guy is a third string wide receiver, and I can get him for $25K, which is basically free. But I think he's going to have a big game because of the matchup. Or maybe it's raining, or maybe there's an injury. Like, there's so much strategy, like poker, so much strategy goes into the fantasy sport. So that's why I'm so fucking excited about No Limit Coin. I can't tell you enough how excited I am about the future. And there's other big availments going to be unveiled when the time is ready. Hang on to your seatbelts. That's all I gotta say. Bitcoin is in the very dangerous waters right now. This is not a good sign. This is not a good sign at all. It's not a good sign for meaning that there's going to be a crash. That's a good sign if you want to make money. It's always good when there's a crash, because we believe in Bitcoin and we know where it's going to be by the end of the year. So if we can get it cheaper than this price, that's great. But I'm just saying that there's definitely going to be some volatility. This could actually correct any moment. You know, this could be a number of things, but obviously with August 1st looming, this number is going to be crazy. We might actually see Litecoin top it. Who knows? Litecoin might top it. We'll have to see. But yeah, basically I just wanted to end it here. Hope everyone has a good Sunday. Cheers. Peace.